Good morning. Hope everyone's having a happy Wednesday so far. I just wanted to speak here about changing people. How do you change your spouse? How do you change a coworker? How do you change someone that's in your life? And you can't just, kind of set boundaries and not see that person because there's someone you work with every day. There's someone that you live with. How do you change that person when there's something that you don't like about the way they're acting or being? And recently I went to a 4-day event in Santa Monica led by the illustrious John Patrick Morgan, a coach I deeply admire and follow and learn from. And he shared with me a video about how it's called How Do You Change Your Wife? And I thought it was particularly just intriguing, and it's something that I've practiced, but I loved how succinctly he shared his idea of how to change someone. And it's not in the typical way you would think. If you're anything like me, your typical way is to coax and cajole and nag and share what you'd like them to do differently. And while there is appropriate time to share with someone from your heart the possibility you see for them, this method or this strategy or this approach is to really focus on who you are being. And as a being coach and someone who leads the LinkedIn being movement here on LinkedIn called the Ultimate Coach Group, I thought I'd just share here in the last minute or so this approach. And that is to focus on being that the other person is that which you want them to be. So in other words, if you feel like, for example, the example that John gives is if you want your husband to acknowledge you more, then you create in yourself, I am being that my husband acknowledges me profusely or acknowledges me all the time. And when you're being that the other person is acting the way that you would like them to be, you have that thinking in yourself, you're creating that constantly, and then you find more instances of that person, your husband in this case, being acknowledgement for you. And what happens then? When you're being that he acknowledges you profusely, when you're with him, you're noticing the times that he acknowledges you now. You're not being in a victim state where, oh, he doesn't acknowledge me, I wish he would acknowledge me more, he never pays attention to me. You're being that he acknowledges you, and so when you're in that state, you notice more instances of that, and then you express appreciation in turn for him acknowledging you, and he feels appreciated, and it's an upward spiral. So I just thought that was a beautiful concept that John Patrick Morgan shared with me that I know I've heard about and practiced in my own marriage, but it's a very useful reminder, both for your professional and personal relationships, to take into control what you can control, which is who you're being, what you're thinking, and let that guide your relationships and help form them in a powerful way. And that doesn't mean we don't speak straight at times. It doesn't mean we don't share our vision or possibility for that person, but there is a way such that you can create your own thinking about others to create them in the most powerful way possible and actually create the change that you desire. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone.